Hi everyone, welcome to Newcastle Fans TV.
Newcastle Fans TV.
Yes, hello everyone, hope you're doing well. We've got something a little bit different for you tonight. We are talking about average positions, formations, players out of position. Is it affecting Newcastle United? Not keeping the same personnel in defence, is that affecting the tune? I think so. I'd love to know what you think as well. Welcome along. Please smash that like video if you're watching live. Great to have you on board. If you're watching the rerun, great to have you on board as well. And also, our YouTube members got a massive 10 exclusive videos in September last month. So it's a membership program, and we do give some back for our members as well. So have a look at the join button underneath for more information. But first things first, I'm going to switch screens. We're going to talk about average formations, player positions, and is it affecting Newcastle United?
Take a look at West Ham, which was a 5-3-2 formation. If you remember this game, it was end-to-end. Obviously, the VAR decision cost us with Jacob Murphy. I felt Newcastle went on to lose the game. But if you see the average positions, and this is going to be notable, that you're going to see Alan Saint-Maximin up top every single game. Now, whether you think Alan Saint-Maximin is better on the left or the right or through the middle, it's irrelevant. He's playing up top with not much we can do as fans about it. But he has got 3 assists and he has got 2 goals. So he is producing. But if you look at that formation there, you clearly see it's 5 at the back. A little bit surprised to see Emil Kraft start the season. And you look at Jonjo Shelvey, who's been missing large chunks of this season. He's a big miss. I generally feel, whatever you think of Shelvey, I think he's better being in the squad than some other people in midfield. But let me know what you think of that as well. But Shelvey does divide opinion. Miguel Miron has played almost every game. In fact, every game, I believe, with playing in centre midfield out of position. You'll see in this formation that there is a lot of players who are out of position. You can see Matt Ritchie bombing on number 11, very advanced there as a left wing back, which will probably be, that's why it was a fault for a couple of the goals coming in with back post, because Ritchie's so far in advance. But looking at those positions, Hayden's all right for me. He's a little bit further forward than Jonjo because Jonjo likes to pick up the ball. But overall, I'm okay with that. But again, it's a game that we shouldn't have lost. I think the VAR was crucial in that one. If we move on to Aston Villa, so Fabian Schär was the only change for Emil Kraft at the back, and Freddie Woodman continues to keep his place in goal. And then you had Hayden. Willock came back in this time because he replaced Jonjo Shelvey and Miguel Miron again, and they had Alan Saint-Maximin up top with Callum Wilson. What's interesting though is ASM's actually more advanced than Callum Wilson, but obviously ASM likes to play on the counter. He gets higher up the pitch, he's got a lot of speed, and in the Willock, it's positioned just behind Wilson. If you look at that as well, again, if you look to the left-hand side, Ritchie very advanced, Murphy much more advanced this time around. Hayden is sitting in front of the defence. If we take a look at the next fixture, which was the 2-2 draw against Southampton. Again, Freddie Woodman in goal. It's 5-3-2 this time. If you look at the average position, if I just go back to the previous game and look at Aston Villa and Almiron, Ritchie, Murphy and Willock breaking into that second half. But then if you look at the Southampton one, we've only got 2 in advance and Murphy on the borderline. So we're a little bit deeper. Again, it's the same defence, which was rare. That's only happened twice this season, consecutive games. And then you've got Sean Longstaff has come back into the side, playing at 36. He's very deep. And then obviously you've got Almiron, 24, just next to Matt Ritchie, and Willock, 28. And there's no Isaac Hayden in this game. And then you've got Murphy, as I say, bombing on, Alan Saint-Maximin, and in support of Wilson. What do you make of these average positions? Do these mean anything to you? Because I think it tells you a little bit about it, and especially the personnel. But then if you look at the Man United one, it's a change of formation. We've lost Callum Wilson. We've switched it to a 5-4-1 system. Alan Saint-Maximin again up top on his own, number 10. Joe Linton's now in on that left side of midfield. His position's almost identical to Matt Ritchie. Obviously, Ritchie's so far and advanced on that side. If you remember, Manquillo come in over on the right-hand side at number 19. He replaced Jacob Murphy. Murphy hasn't started the game since. Do you think that's fair? Do you think Manquillo deserves his position? Or do you think it's Murphy at right back or right wing back? Hayden dropped into defence coming back from the game, which I found bizarre. Obviously, Hayden was questioned with a couple of the goals. So was Freddie Woodman, by the way. And then you had Lascelles and Clark. And then you look at the midfield, the 3 on breaking forward, trying to help ASM. They're all on average position inside their own box. And Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock, and again, Miguel Almiron. Take a look at the next fixture, which is the Leeds one, which is interesting, the Leeds one, because although we look fairly deep, We were shocking first half, if you remember, and then Bruce actually changed the system and brought Hayden out of defence further in midfield. And although Hayden was brought out of defence, he doesn't actually improve his average position hugely. Again, it's Manquillo on the right. He's very deep. He's the furthest man back, and that is very, very surprising. Manquillo is still, you would expect him to be bombing on at least the halfway line. Richie, surprisingly, not as further advanced as what he has been in the last few games. Joe Linton tucked in inside there, trying to help out. Joe Linton in the last couple of games has been much better. And then you've got 28, which is Willock. And then you've got 36, which is Longstaff. And again, Miggy hovering around the centre midfield role. Now, what I don't like is that Joe Willock has been playing the last couple of games. From what it seems like, he doesn't seem to be fully fit. I don't like Miggy and Miron playing in centre midfield, but where you're going to play him with this system, I would change it personally. I'm sure you guys would as well. And of course, with the Leeds game, Carl Darlow come in for Freddie Woodman because he was inverted commas injured, but Darlow's kept his place because if you look at the Watford game next, and this is the second time this season with the Watford and the Wolves game, and it's actually the same side, and I think that's only the second time also that's happened this season. The Watford game frustrates the living hell out of me because we should have won that game. Had so many chances, and that's definitely and only the first time that I've said it this season. That's 2 points dropped from Newcastle. But look at the average positions. Manquillo, not so much in advance. Remember, we're playing 4 at the back. He changed it to 4-5-1 with Fernandez and Clark. And if you look at Hayden, he's just sitting in front of Fernandez, protecting that defence. That's what his job is to do. Richie bombing on that halfway line. Again, Richie's very similar to Joe Linton. Joe Linton, I would like to see him get another 10 yards further forward. If he gets further forward with his average positions, I think he'll score more goals. I generally do. I think he'll get in that position a lot more. Miguel Miron, again, not in advance, but I feel for Miron, already I've said it in this video, is that he's not a set midfielder. He needs to be playing in the 10 or, at worst, out on that left-hand side. But Joe Linton, as I say, has done all right in that position, but he's not bringing goals or assists, unfortunately, with Joe Linton. So again, we've got injuries missing. We've had Shelby missing a couple of games now. We've had Lascelles missing. Dubravka's still to come back as well. ESM, the most advanced player, once again playing up top, but Willock just behind him. Willock, you might say, might have been played in the number 10 role, but he did have a couple of chances, Joe Willock, especially when the one where he blazed over. And then most recently at Wolves, it's the same side. And again, if you look at the average positions now, we've got Miggy so much more advanced, number 24, and Joe Linton. I talked about Joe Linton just before. I want to see him further forward, and he was against Wolves. He worked his arse off, Joe Linton, to be credit to him. Matt Ritchie bombing up on that left-hand side, number 11. Manquillo not as advanced as much. And then in midfield, you've got a cluster of the three of Hayden, Willock, and Sean Longstaff in there as well. Hayden was more pressing actually in the first half until he was strangely dropped back into defence, which I couldn't believe it. Me, Sam, Johnny, we couldn't believe that Hayden was brought back into a 5. So he changed it, but it started off as a 4-5-1, and Hayden would have been so much more advanced if we didn't change it, and I just found that really bizarre.
Right, so Miguel Miron playing out of position, centre midfield every game. You've got Murphy, who started the season, now out the side. Manquillo's in. Jamal Lewis can't even get a game. Never can Dwight Gale. Never can Ryan Fraser. None of them, and Jeff Hendrick, although Jeff did score, none of them have started all season. Does Matt Ritchie deserve to continue playing left back, left wing back? We've had the defence change so many times. Isaac Hayden's dropped into defence. We've had a change in midfield, obviously with injuries. Willock looks knackered to me. He looks injured. You've got Shelby out missing. You've got the captain Lascelles behind him, behind the captain. You've got Martin Dubravka missing. And then if you're going further up the pitch, you've got Callum Wilson, who we expect to be back from Spurs. It's a big chunk. That's his spine. Whatever you think of those 4 players, most weeks, more often than not, they'll all start. Hopefully they come in Spurs because we need a result. But there's too many players. And, you know, Miggy should be playing in the number 10 or out wide on the left. Is ESM a striker? No, he's not, but he's having to fill there because no one else is good enough. In Bruce's eyes, like I said, I would like to say Dwight Gale give him a run out and then play ESM out wide. But we know Wilson is expected to come back against Spurs. But I haven't just finished there for you. Oh no, I've got some stats to reel off. Have a look at this.
So 2 times the defence have played consecutive games together. That's just over 28.5%. For me, that needs to be higher. You need a consistent defence because we're shipping in goals left, right and centre. I know there's been obviously back post issues, VAR, what have you, but That isn't good enough. We need a settled back four or a back five. I personally want four, but if Bruce wants to play the back five, it has to be the same for me. But I would go with four. But you can chop and change your midfield and play around and what have you. But crucially, you need that consistency at the back. I know injuries haven't helped, but when everybody's back, don't play around with the system at the back. And also the midfield have only played consecutive games, just the twice, again, similar to the defence. 5 out of 7 games we've played 5 at the back, which everybody agrees. Most people don't like to see the wing-back system. I can get it if we're playing Manchester City away or Chelsea away. I can understand playing 5 at the back. I'll accept that. But not when you're against the teams. Look at this. Look at the teams that have played so far this season. Only Man United are a big team, and that's alarming. Only twice has the same side been selected, which has been the last 2 games. Bruce hasn't changed it. We've only played 1 up top since Wilson's injury in the last 4 games. That's 100% of the last 4 games. Alan saint-maximin has had to play up top. And they say the start there, ASM has played every game, even when Wilson's been available. He's ever played ASM and Wilson as a 2 or ASM on his own when Wilson's been out injured. Personally, for me, I would like to see Dwight Gale played up top and move ASM on that left-hand side. Let me know what you lot think on that. Isaac Hayden is starting in defence 33% this season, being available for selection. Again, why are you dropping Hayden into defence when you've got centre-backs sitting on the bench? I don't get that. Play him in his favourite position. His best position is sitting in front of that defence. And strangely, Jamal Lewis has been available all season and he hasn't started any game. So the reason why I've got Lewis there instead of Ryan Fraser or Dwight Gale or even Jeff Hendrick is because we're leaking goals at the back. Richie has been at fault for a few of them. And Jamal Lewis can't even get a kick at the minute.
So, it's not great at the minute. And when Newcastle currently sit at the minute, sitting in the languish and down in 19th position, there's only a few clubs that haven't won. And where's the next wing going to come from? Where's the next wing? It's hostile all over the place at the minute. You look at social media, everyone's kicking off. You look at inside the ground, everybody's kicking off. You look at YouTube videos, everybody's kicking off. No one's happy at the minute. Nobody's happy at the minute. And love to know what you lot think. Please get interact in the comments on the blog. Read them out later on. Have a look at them and reply to us. But if you can, smash that video. That'd be fantastic. There you go. Latest video here on NFTV. Smash that like if you can, everybody. We've got lots of videos still to come, even though it's international break. Ta-ra, everyone. Bye-bye.